Good morning, students. We are going to continue with the short story The Night the Ghost Got In by James Thurber. The narrator describes how he heard walking steps about a quarter past 1 o'clock in the morning. That is late night and early morning. His mother was asleep. His brother Herman was also asleep. His grandfather was in the attic. The narrator thought that maybe his father or his brother Roy have returned from Indianapolis. Then he thought that it was a burglar. It did not enter his mind until later that it was a ghost. After the walking had gone on for perhaps 3 minutes, he tiptoed to Herman's room and told him about the ghost. Both the brothers listened hard, but there was no noise. The slamming of the doors had aroused Mother. She thought that burglars had entered the house. She went to telephone the police. Since the telephone was downstairs, she thought of a trick. Now the writer has um, presented a very funny situation when the mother she is not able to go downstairs because that was the place from where noise was coming, and then how she manages to make a phone call. So this situation is presented in a very funny manner. She flung up a window of her bedroom, which faced the bedroom windows of the house of her neighbor, picked up a shoe and whammed it through a pane of glass across the narrow space that separated the two houses. Glass tinkled into the bedroom occupied by a retired engraver named Bodwell and his wife. Bodwell had been for some years in a rather bad way and was subject to mild attacks. So now we see how the lady of the house she manages to inform her neighbors that there was a burglar, or there were burglars, or whether it was a ghost or it's just a confusing situation. But she thinks that there was a burglar, and she informs her neighbors, and then she conveys to them that they should inform the police, and then they inform the police and the policemen come. The police were on hand in a commendably short time. A Ford sedan full of them, two on motor cycles, and a petrol wagon with about 8 in it, and a few reporters. They began banging at the doors. Police were all over the place. Doors were yanked open, drawers were yanked open, windows were shot up and pulled down, furniture fell with dull thumps. A half dozen policemen emerged out of the darkness of the front hallway upstairs. They began to ransack the floor, pulled beds from walls, tore clothes of books in the closets, pulled suitcases and boxes off shelves. One of them found an old zither that Roy had won in a pool tournament. The police concluded that there were no thieves or burglars. So, in this way, we see that when the police came, they searched the house, they searched all the rooms, all the things, and they also found that when they came, the door was shut from inside very tightly, so there was no chance that a thief or a burglar could have entered the home. So the police concluded that there were no thieves or burglars. So now it is the question remains to be seen that who was there, whose footsteps the boys heard, or particularly the little boy, the narrator of the story, whose footsteps did he hear. So that will be revealed, and whether it was just a confusion or it was a whim of his mind or what it was, that we'll study in tomorrow's class. That is all for today. Thanks.